cool.
Give us 1 sec, guys. Are we live, Ty? You'll be able to see right there on that other computer on the YouTube. It'll say that we're live.
I should see here, right?
It takes a minute to show up on the actual YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's really live.
Okay. All right, everyone. Welcome to today's live stream. This is my beautiful girlfriend, Tatiana, by the way. Hey, everyone on YouTube. Hey, everyone here on Facebook. And hey, everyone here on Periscope. Before we get started, if you guys could just leave a quick comment and let us know where you guys are joining in from, which city, where you guys are right now in the world. Right now we're live in Vancouver, Canada, and we're streaming this in 3 different places. We're streaming this on YouTube, we're streaming this on Periscope, and also on Facebook Live. So we got people from Scotland, London, Manchester,
California,
Houston, Texas,
Paradise.
Paradise, love it. Calgary, Alberta, Germany. Awesome. How about here on Facebook?
Vancouver.
Someone from Vancouver, Toronto. Awesome, guys. Portugal. Wow. LA. Awesome, guys. Well, welcome to the stream. I'm really excited and looking forward to engaging with you guys today and sharing a little bit about how to build a successful Amazon business. And my girlfriend here, Tatiana, is a superstar on Amazon, and so I feel very blessed to be able to introduce you guys to her and her story and what she's been able to accomplish on Amazon. She's more involved in the Amazon business than I am. You know, she does it, part-time as she has a job and everything as well. And so I think she has a lot of experience and knowledge that she can share with you guys to help you guys get started. And then also just to be able to answer a lot of your guys' questions as well. So on this stream, we're gonna talk a little bit about building an Amazon business. I'm going to ask Tatiana some questions and for her to share a little bit of her experience and her story as well so that you guys can find out a little bit about her. She's crushing it right now on Amazon. In the last month, she's made $15,000 from one of her products, and which is pretty amazing for anybody. And if you guys have questions, we'll do like a Q&A at the end where we'll answer you guys' questions. Tatiana can answer your questions as well. And just to help you guys out a little bit for you guys to build your business and create the success that you guys want. Okay? Sound good? All right. So how about we start things off, and do you want to maybe just share with people a little bit about yourself and how long you've been doing Amazon for? And
Okay, yeah, so my name is Tatiana. Hello. You've probably seen our Instagram pictures, but so Stefan and I met in 2014. And since then, I was never really an online person. I didn't even own a computer, to be honest. I had an iPad. The only time I ever was on my iPad was to go on Facebook here and there and to browse Instagram. So I was never a computer person. I never thought that I would have an online business. And so basically in 2014, we were introduced to the Amazing Selling Machine, which is a really great program. It's kind of more of a high ticket program, but it's worth every penny, and we both went through it together.
Mm-hmm.
So
I didn't know anything about building an Amazon business. I was doing Kindle publishing, but I wanted to get into Amazon because that, the newest trend or whatever. And ASM was coming along, and so we both decided to do it together. Yeah,
so we started it together. We basically went through the modules. There's a bunch of different modules, and every week we'd be like, hey, which module are you on? Which one are you on? It was kind of like a competition between who was getting through it fastest. So we eventually finished it together, and that was kind of the end of 2014. So early 2015, we went to the ASM event. So every year, after you purchase the program and you go through the program.
And just to clarify, actually, ASM's not available at the moment. It hasn't been available, I think, for like a year now. So we'll talk about other alternatives if you actually are looking for a course, but ASM was the original course that we both started with.
But it's not the only option. There's tons of free online programs, YouTube videos, and great people who can help you build this online business too. But anyway, so we went to the ASM event, and that was, when was that? 2015?
Yeah,
February?
Maybe. Yeah, I think January,
February.
Yeah.
And at the event, I had my first sale. So basically, what I started with is, what I learned is to start with something that is kind of lower ticket. Something, because I didn't have a lot of money. I'm a student, I go to university, I'm paying my tuition, I have a lot of expenses, and I have a job that I have I'm not like an online entrepreneur like Stefan here. So it's like I have a day job and I'm going to school. And so I had a lot of money and to be putting aside for school, and I didn't have a lot of money for this online business that may or may not work. Like I wasn't really sure about it, right? So basically I said, okay, I'm gonna take $1,000, or I don't know, it might have been less than $1,000 or $1,000, and I'm gonna use this, I'm going to jump right in, and I'm going to try and get a product that is not gonna cost me so much and that is gonna be light in shipping, because I was gonna source from China. I knew that right off the bat because everything you can get from China is a lot cheaper, and there's certain things that you can get from China that are equally as high in quality as what you can get in the States. So I wanted to get something from China that I could get for a low cost and low shipping fees. So I found a really lightweight product that cost me like pennies, and basically I started selling that. And your first product is usually never your amazing seller. It's never the best product that you have, but I learned so much from that first product. So even though there was ups, and I had like a couple months it was just crazy sales, and I was like, yeah, this is it, and then it just kind of went downhill. But you learn so much from that, and I learned a lot about sourcing from China and doing these overseas things, because before this, I had no idea about any of this stuff. So it was just a big learning curve for me. And so since then, I've launched two other products. My second product was another product. All of my products are actually from China. I still prefer to source from China for my personal reasons, but you can source from anywhere in the world, of course. But my second product was a product that I was passionate about, but it wasn't a product that kind of went with the flow of my first product. So I was just kind of trying to launch out products that I thought were hot sellers, but basically they were good for a few months and then they would kind of die down. And then finally I found a product that I learned that, I need to find something that I can market myself, something that I believe in. And basically what was happening is I was on Amazon, and I'm not a big Amazon purchaser. I never used to purchase on Amazon that often, but when I did, it was for things that I wouldn't be able to find in the store. So I said, what are the things that I'm buying on Amazon? Because that's probably what other people are going to purchase on Amazon. I'm not going to go to Amazon to purchase something that I can just purchase at my grocery store. I'm only going to purchase the things that I can't really find at the store, or I can find for a discounted rate on Amazon. So I found a product that I was already putting my own money in it to buy for myself that would benefit me. And then basically I bought a bunch of these products, which are waist trainers, if you want to know, and I found all the bad parts of each brand, and basically I found a supplier where they allowed me to change and modify the product so that the product is basically all the best parts of, I've tried a bunch of different waist trainers. I took everything that was bad and I didn't want that in my waist trainer, and then I built this waist trainer that I think is really high quality. I use it every day, it works really well, and it sells great because I can stand by the quality and it's something that I can market. So just basically knowing that, finding something that that you can market yourself, because social media is everything nowadays. There are sellers on Amazon that are selling and they're doing well, but if you have that plus side of being able to market yourself on social media and doing streams like these, that's going to be a huge advantage over your competitors, because most people, they won't want to put themselves out there on social media. So that's basically what happened.
Yeah, and so whenever you start a new business, right, and what your experience was, even my experience when I first started on Amazon or any business, there's always a peak of uncertainty. And there's a huge learning curve because we had no idea what we're doing. There's obviously a number of logistics, things that, you kind of learn as you go, right? And thankfully we had a good course that was able to help us, because there's probably no way that we'd be able to actually do what we've done without a good course that could guide us step by step. A lot of moments where you're trying to figure stuff out, and you got to get on the phone with Amazon, you got to reach out to people, you got to have a community of people that have already been there and done it that you can learn from. But the first product, it's you don't really know how well it's going to do because you've never done it before,
and
right?
So many mistakes that happen.
Yeah, and so even like for example, for her and for myself as well, we picked a product. I sell supplements, she sells beauty, fitness related products. You pick one that just kind of test the waters with and learn with. And sure enough, with that product, you're able to make money from it. I was able to make money from mine. But once you learn from that, you might launch a second product or a third product. You might have to go through a few products before you eventually find a product that is the one that you're going to break through with, the one that you can build a brand around, the one that you have the most passion for, the interest for, the one that you can stand out and differentiate yourself in different ways. And so you've now been able to find, you've had 2 other products before that. They both, were able to make money from it. And of course there's been challenges. You run out of inventory and you kind of, got to rebuild it and stuff like that, and hijackers and things like that. But now that you found that one product, and I think that's the key thing in building a business, whether it's Kindle publishing or Amazon or whatever. Sometimes, there's that learning curve, and that's just part of the process of being an entrepreneur and building a business. You got to go through the ups and downs. You got to go through the trial and error to be able to find the one that's really going to make the difference.
But also just note that the one product doesn't work for everybody. There's people who are at these events that have thousands and thousands of products, and they're doing millions a month. I'm not even kidding, right?
Yep,
there are people who are doing millions a month off of Amazon just from having an array of products. There's this one guy you were telling me about. He's at a restaurant and he sees like this wrapper or something like that. What was it? This little thing in the restaurant. He's like, oh, I'm gonna source that. I'm gonna produce that. So he basically has just a bunch of little products everywhere. Doesn't mean that there's one golden nugget. It just means that's what's working for him.
Sure.
So everybody has a different method, whether you find the one almighty product that works for you or you have 1,000 different products. So it's not like
there's many different strategies. There's many different methods.
Yeah.
I think the best and most long-term strategy is building a brand, and building a brand of related products, because then you can leverage yourself and you can cross-promote the products, right? So if you decide on a certain niche, like fitness, and you decide on that niche and you maybe start with one product in that market, now you've attracted people, customers that have bought that one product related to fitness. You can build your brand on YouTube, on Facebook, on social media, many different ways, and attract people to you, promote your product, and then your next product, I believe, to leverage yourself, you want to build a brand of related products in one particular niche. Mm-hmm. There are people that go all over the place and they make money by doing it that way, but it's very challenging to build multiple brands. And you don't want to just depend on Amazon, because I think a lot of sellers, a big mistake they make, or anyone in their online business, is they only depend on Amazon or one stream of income or one stream of traffic. And that's going to work short term, but if you're not anticipating how things are going to change a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, then you're going to be in trouble. So if you only sell your product on Amazon and you only got one product, that's not a very secure business, because something could happen to that product, something could happen with your suppliers, something could happen with Amazon, there could be a hijacker, you might, the rankings might drop, reviews might get, there's so many things that can happen from that, right? So if you build the brand, you have multiple products and multiple ways of marketing and selling your product. You're ranking your product on Amazon, but also you've got a YouTube channel, you've got a blog, you've got Facebook and Instagram, and all these different channels to promote your product. You're going to have a more secure business that's going to be able to scale much bigger because they're building the brand. Mm-hmm. So that's the key thing that I believe is going to give you a competitive advantage 5, 10, 20 years from now. Because if you're just selling a product, products can change.
Yeah.
The internet changes, products become irrelevant. You always got to innovate and further meet your customers' needs, because there might be new products that you can launch to your customers and build that relationship with them.
So just to reiterate what he's saying and to bring it back a little bit for new sellers or people who are interested in Amazon, basically when you are planning on selling an Amazon product, you can kind of go one of two ways. You can either decide, okay, I'm going to go look on Amazon at the bestseller list. So Amazon has different categories, right? So basically, say I go to the beauty category and I look at the beauty and I click on bestsellers in beauty. Then I find the products that are selling the best with a lower number of reviews, so it's easier for me to compete with, a high BSR, so I know that it's selling well, not too many Amazon people from courses like ASM competitors, and then I pick a product from that basically based on it selling well. Or I can decide, okay, I'm going to pick my niche right now. I'm going to pick something that I'm going to follow through with for my whole Amazon business, and I'm going to pick the beauty category, and within that beauty category I'm just going to do makeup, I'm just going to do makeup brushes, I'm just going to do hair dyes, whatever it is, but basically picking one category that you're going to sell in. So you could have you could basically have selling different. So this is what I did, and this is how I screwed up in the beginning, is I just found best-selling products in the beauty category. And I said, oh, I'm going to sell that, 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 and I thought that was going to work out for me. But what I realized is that if I take now this Amazon business and I build a website out of Amazon, because I don't want to rely on Amazon, it's going to be really hard for me, because somebody who's looking just to buy mascara isn't necessarily interested in some other beauty products that might be on my website, and it might be a little bit confusing for them. So basically I learned that I should just stick in one category, one niche, and one brand, and have a brand, build a brand outside of Amazon onto my personal website, my Shopify, and therefore social media, YouTube, Instagram, all that stuff. So it's just easier to take it away from Amazon when it's just one niche, one product, or one niche, one market, and one brand, rather than just an array of products. Did that make sense?
Yeah, and so you've been also very different than a lot of sellers, because I think a lot of sellers, they just think, oh, I'm just going to throw up a product on Amazon and I'm going to sell it and I'm going to make some money, and they think that's all there is to it. And obviously there's more to it. You've got to market a product. I don't care what your product is, whether it's a book, a physical product, a course, affiliate marketing, whatever it is, you have to market. You have to attract people to you, and you can't just depend on Amazon to do that for you. So you have been able to build your brand and be able to sell your product through creating content on YouTube, through blogging, through Instagram, Facebook, and whatnot. Do you want to maybe share how you're able to attract people and promote your product?
Well, I mean, okay, so, everybody has something that stands out about them, or something that they know more of that they can share with the world. For example, for me, I know a lot about health, fitness, and basically waist training in general, because I've always kind of been a waist trainee. I know a lot of people think it's unhealthy and dangerous, but I've always used a waist trainer. My mom's always used a waist trainer. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a garment that you cinch around your waist, and you wear it when you work out, you wear it postpartum, and it just helps suck in your belly fat and basically tightens your core and helps you shed fat faster. So I said, you know what, I love this product. I can definitely talk about it. I can promote it, I can wear it, I can show it to people, and I can show people my results from it. So I found this product because it's something that I liked, and I knew it was something I could market. So from there, I never wanted to be on YouTube. I don't like taking videos, I don't like taking pictures. I didn't want to. Stefan always told me, you have to go on YouTube, you have to go on YouTube. I didn't want to at all, because I just don't like putting myself out there. Even my friends don't know about this business or my YouTube account, because it's not something that I just don't want people to look at my videos. But that type of thinking is something that you have to really overcome, because in this new age that we're living in, it's all about the social media and it's all about the interaction. So this live stream, we're interacting with you guys. We can read your comments right now, and this is how you can kind of connect with people a lot more easy. So take advantage of that, right? So basically, I created my YouTube account when we were traveling in Thailand. So we went away for 4 months. And with that time, we didn't just travel or just vacation. We worked on our businesses every single day. So I started creating blog posts, which I had never done before. I started doing YouTube videos. I started doing, what was I doing? Oh yeah, social media. So I started an Instagram account, a Snapchat, all these things that I never had done before. And literally, you're basically, for the first few months, you're talking yourself. I'm making videos, nobody's watching them. I get 1 follower a week. And then it's kind of silly, but all of that is the compound effect. So over time, all of those videos, all of those blog posts, it compounds, and you finally start seeing results. So a couple months later, I was getting 1 new follower a day, and I was so excited. Every time I saw that I was getting new followers, wow, people are actually watching my videos. So now, a few months later, I've got 3,500 subscribers on YouTube. And the YouTube is really what helped increase my sales in my business, because you're able to show people how a product looks. When people are purchasing on Amazon, when they're purchasing a product online, they can't touch it, they can't smell it, they can't feel it. It's really kind of scary, because they don't know what they're going to get. And so when you can actually show them the product, show the results, show how you're wearing it, they have a lot more trust in the product and in you. So I can't really emphasize more how important it is to put yourself out there and not be afraid of it, because it's just silly to, not take advantage of the social media and YouTube that we have now.
Yeah, and you guys got to understand that the world is changing. You know, the internet is changing. Right now, the most consumed content online is video. And that I heard a statistic in the next 5 to 10 years, 90% of content online is going to be video. So if you're not using video in your business, then you're getting left behind. And if you guys look at the streaming right now, if you guys look at content on Facebook, you guys look at content on Instagram, you look at Snapchat, you look at Periscope, why is it that all the social platforms are leveraging videos? Because that's what people want, that's what people are using, and it's something that the younger generation gets and they're growing up with and they're utilizing a lot more. And if you're a little bit older and you're not used to it, you got to adapt. You know, as Charles Darwin said, it's not the strongest or the smartest of the species that survive, it is he who is the most adaptable to change. So you have to adapt, you have to be willing, I believe, to put yourself out there a little bit more because you'll have a huge advantage. You can do it without that, of course, there are people that do, but you'll have an incredible advantage and an incredible long-term advantage as well because you can build a relationship, you're a real person, you can be transparent, people are going to want to follow you, and I think, you know, at VidCon, there's a conference every year called VidCon, they're talking about how, like, reality video, you know, just kind of lifestyle stuff like reality TV, that's becoming really big now as well. People just watching other people, how they live, because people want people to connect with. They want, you know, and I think that's why you do so well, that's why I do well, it's because they see you're a real person. They're going to buy from her product than anyone else because she's a real person that has the result that they're after, that answers their questions, that engages with them, that they can follow along with and build a family with.
Yeah.
And I think that's powerful.
Yeah. So, I mean, basically, what I think really helped me scale my, you know, my small business, my online business to, you know, getting more sales and more customers is having amazing customer service. You need to make sure that this is your priority because whether or not the person's going to purchase your product, even if they're asking for another name brand that you can suggest, you want to make sure that you answer them in a timely manner. You want to be nice to them, friendly, give them helpful suggestions, just create a bond because your customer service is one of the most valuable assets you have. A lot of these big corporations and companies that sell similar products, they may not have the time or the people in hand to give you that customer service. So you can really differentiate yourself by giving that one-on-one direct attention and really, you know, answering emails quickly, answering, you know, comments on YouTube and things like that. So making sure that you have really high customer service, making sure you have a really good quality product, a product where you're not going to get complaints about it not working, about the quality, about, you know, anything that could be negative about the product. You really want to test out your products, get samples, make sure that you don't slack in that area because that's super important. And I think, I mean, basically Amazon takes care of the rest for you. They actually handle most of your customer service and inquiries, and they handle all the fulfillment, so they handle all the shipping. You don't have to worry about shipping times. So if you do Amazon FBA, you've got most of your business taken care of by Amazon. You're only paying them a small fee, and it's really going to save you a lot of time and hassle. So with that time, you can really direct it to your customer service and social media and working on your online presence.
Mm-hmm. And what we're going to do, guys, we'll take some of your guys' questions here in a minute, but I also wanted to bring Tatiana here to show you guys it's possible. Like, anybody can do this. Any of you guys can build a successful online business. And so many times people say to me, oh, I don't have the time or I don't have the money. And yet you have the time to show up on a stream. Yet you have time to watch TV. Yet you have time to do all these other things. And they don't have the money. And here, you know, my girlfriend is going to university and she's working at a bar and she finds a way to build a business and invest, you know, a small amount of money and still investing money into improving herself and doing all the things. And so the real key is the psychology, the mindset. You guys that follow me know how much I talk about the mindset and the psychology of success. And that your mindset is the only thing that's limiting you. And that the ultimate characteristic of an entrepreneur is someone who's resourceful. Because if you're resourceful, you'll find the resources, you'll find a way. You know, and there's many times in our businesses, you don't know the answers, but you got to be resourceful enough to find the answers. Like, how many times do you get on the phone with Amazon? Or you looking up online and being a problem solver? You know, instead of just saying, oh, I don't have the money or time or I can't figure this out, actually becoming the person that can solve those problems and find a way and actually be committed to it. right? So I really wanted to emphasize that and share that you guys can do this. Anybody can do this.
Yeah.
And, you know, investing in a course, resources, things that can help you get started and build the business, that's the ultimate thing.
And I think, I just want to add on that, I think that the one thing that really does stop people is, you know, with the online business is not only the leap of faith, but the investment. Like, a lot of people don't want to put in their own money into a business that it may or may not work, right? So I think something that differentiated me from some other people that I met at the ASM event who are still working on their first product is that you kind of just have to take that leap of faith. And here you have Stefan and I telling you that this works. So, I mean, we're not going to lie to you. We're honest people. And basically, like I said, I invested very little money. I didn't have much money to invest. But I still took that leap of faith, you know, instead of saying, oh, well, I could use this money for something else more important. No, there's nothing more important than my financial freedom. And I wanted nothing more at that moment than to have an online business, because I hate working for somebody else. I really don't like going to work and just having a normal job, like a 9 to 5. So the days that I can just work on this, even though I spend more time working on my online business than I do at my day job, it's just so much more liberating and freeing. So taking that leap of faith and really just going for it, you're gonna get results. It takes time. I mean, my first couple of products did not really work. I was still making money from them, but nothing major, right? And not only that, I never took out any loans, and I never really, all the money that has been coming from my business has been recycled. So this money, I just recycle it and I put it back into the business. So I never really took much out for myself. And I think that's what helps it grow faster. So if you can keep your 9 to 5 job and not just like say, okay, I'm going to quit my 9 to 5 and start this online business, that's going to be harder for you, because it's going to take a lot longer for you to start to get the online business growing, because you're not going to have the money to support yourself. So if you're able to keep your 9 to 5 job and use that money to support your living expenses, whereas you take the money from your online business and just recycle it completely and put it back into the business, it's going to grow a lot quicker.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So what we'll do, guys, and by the way, I appreciate you guys on YouTube, on Facebook, on Periscope. Give me some love. Make sure you guys tap, hit the like button. Really appreciate the support. I want to make sure that you guys are there, you guys are watching, you guys are engaged. So give us some love, give us a thumbs up. And by the way, if you guys could share this video, we would love that. We want to reach more people, so if you guys could share this, somebody that you might know that might be able to benefit from this, that really needs this information, we greatly appreciate that as well. So if you guys have any questions, you guys can submit it right here on Periscope or right here on Facebook, and if you can actually refresh and try to find the stream on YouTube.
And this is your time to really ask all the questions that you have about the Amazon business, because we're going to really just take them as they come and answer them honestly for you. It's not working on here.
Someone said, do you offer classes? I have coaching programs that, you know, if you want to personally work with me, there's courses out there that, you know, we could recommend to you that we've both been through. We started with Amazing Selling Machine, but Amazing Selling Machine is actually no longer available, only becomes available once in a while. The course that I recommend now that's available is called Marketplace Superheroes. And if you guys want to check out the course, it's really good. It's by Stephen Summers. I did an interview with him on YouTube, and also I did a webinar with him as well. And he is a pro. He works with a lot of people getting started to build their business. He's got the step-by-step training. We both went through their training as well, and we found it very beneficial, and would highly recommend that. And if you guys want to check out the webinar, go to projectlifemastery.com/MPS. Okay, projectlifemastery.com/MPS. There's actually a special discount available there for you guys as well. There's a special webinar that we did that was specifically for you guys that we did before. A lot of people have been through it and really enjoyed that course. Okay, so projectlifemastery.com/MPS. You want to open up the YouTube here?
Okay, what about these?
Oh.
Okay.
So
there's no comment showing.
there should be a chat here.
Oh.
Okay. All right, so
I used it before.
what I'll do is I'm going to take some questions here. You can maybe, if you see one good there, let's see.
Okay.
All right, so someone asked, what's the best way to get the FBA process down? Well, I think first of all, honestly, getting training. You know, I don't start any business or really do anything without having the right training to guide me from A to Z, especially in a business that you're not familiar with. And that, you know, the truth is, in any business, you always have to be investing in yourself. You always have to be learning, educating yourself, because once you learn how to sell on Amazon, then you also have to learn how to market. There's many ways of marketing online, and it's always growing and evolving. So I'm always investing in courses on marketing, on how I can build my business, whether that's learning about YouTube, whether that's learning about Facebook advertising, whether that's learning about Instagram, and always trying to find other ways that I can build my brand and be able to sell and promote my products and attract people to me, right? So I would say, you know, to really get it down, get a good training program like Marketplace Superheroes, go through it step by step, follow the training, and then invest in other trainings and just continue learning how to market and how to be able to build your brand.
Okay, Ruben has asked, do you think that buying from Alibaba and selling on Amazon is a good idea? Yes, so there's many different ways that you can source products. You can do a simple Google search with basically the product that you want to sell. For example, waist trainers, wholesale, supplier, private label. You can use these type of keywords, and you're going to get a bunch of different, suppliers. You're going to have to go through pages and pages. Don't just look at the first page. Go through to page 7. Go to page 11. And you really need to interview these suppliers and find the best one for you. Or you can go to a site like Alibaba or AliExpress. So most of these, the suppliers from these sites are from China, but there's various different countries that the suppliers are from. And you can basically do the search within those sites for the waist trainer keyword or whatever product that you're selling. And from there you can find several different suppliers that are selling your product. And you can interview them, you can send them messages, you can Skype them, you can get samples from them, and from there you can decide, okay, which one of those am I going to go with. But both are great options. Now, if you want to, there's also something called drop shipping, which is basically where if you don't want to invest a lot of money into stock, basically meaning that, say you don't have any money right now and you can't afford to buy 1,000 units, then what you would do is you could do drop shipping. I don't know if I would recommend it because it takes too long to come from China, especially. It takes about like 16 to 30 days to arrive to the customer. But from there, for drop shipping, you can do that from AliExpress. So if anyone knows about drop shipping and they're interested, I would suggest going to AliExpress for that. And that means that basically a person will place an order online, and from as soon as they place an order, you get a notification through email, and then from the email you will instantly contact the supplier and order from the supplier. So you get the money from the person, you recycle that money, and you give it to the supplier, and then you just kind of make a profit. But that's completely different, but that I would recommend AliExpress for because there's specific programs for AliExpress that make it easier.
Mm-hmm. And keep in mind too, when you're looking for a supplier and you're looking for a product to sell, you want to have multiple options of suppliers because sometimes it doesn't work out long term with one supplier. You don't want to depend on one supplier on your business. You want to have multiple options. So making sure you have multiple suppliers just in case. And even for me at my business, we're switching suppliers. I know you've, switched suppliers at different points too because sometimes it doesn't work out, your supplier's too slow. There's problems that arise with that. And so being open to having multiple suppliers, I think that's a really important thing.
And also just, being open to it and just making sure that when you do contact and you get the samples, you find the samples, okay, this is the best sample, so I'm going to make this my supplier, second best and third best, and you keep into communication with those two suppliers, because if for some reason the first supplier fails or they're too slow or their business gets shut down, then you still have contact with those two and you have a good relationship with them so you can move forward with them and get, the products from them in the future. Somebody asked, I've heard Amazon was good a couple years back, but now it has a lot of competition. And do you need to invest more to get the profit?
So I'm going to answer this. And I get this question all the time, and it always drives me insane. And I address this probably like in every video that I do, every coaching video, where a lot of people, they have this fear, and they have this it's really all it is a fear about competition and saturation, and they're worried about whether or not they can do it and everything. And I was at a seminar last week in Las Vegas, and Jay Abraham was speaking, and one thing he talked about, someone asked him, why do you think a lot of entrepreneurs don't succeed? And he said the answer is because most people have low self-esteem. Most people fail because they don't have high self-esteem. They're low self-esteem, low confidence. And when you operate from a fear-based place where you worry about competition, saturation, that's low self-esteem, because someone who's confident doesn't worry about that. Do you guys think that I worry about competition? Of course not, because I'm more confident that I can add more value than everyone else. I'm confident that I can make my product better, that I'm always going to innovate it, and that I'm in it for the long term. I think a lot of people, they worry about competition because they're looking for a shortcut. They're looking for the quick fix. They're looking for the magic bullet. They're looking for the loophole. And sure enough, every loophole, every shortcut, every quick fix is only going to work short term. It's not going to work long term. You see, the biggest illusion that people have is they think that the goal is to get rich. That's not the goal. The goal is to get rich and to stay rich. Anybody can make a lot of money in a month. Anybody can figure out some sort of trick or gimmick that can make the money, but is it going to work a month from now, 3 months, 6 months, a year from now, 5, 10 years from now? The answer is no. So the way that you get the competitive advantage where you no longer have to worry about competition is you build a brand. When you build a brand, you have people coming to you and you're not going to them. And the way you build the brand is that you focus on adding massive value in a specific niche or market. The best way to do that online is through content. Content is king. YouTube videos, blogging, social media. When you're creating content that helps solve people's problems or meets their needs or adds value, you're going to attract people to you because people are going to receive the benefit from that, and they're going to want more. They're going to want to benefit more. They're going to want to buy your products. If you're only depending on Amazon, then of course you have to worry about competition because everyone else is doing the exact same thing. Everyone else is just trying to, rank their product on the Amazon search, and then you're basically competing with all the other products there. Mm-hmm. If you just try to do something a little bit better than your competitors, you'll have a little bit of an advantage. If you do something that's totally different and you build the brand, then you're going to have a geometric advantage from that. So understand that the only thing that stops you in your business and in your life is your psychology and your mindset. And the fear of competition, the fear of saturation, that's the chokehold that's holding you back. And you've got to develop the confidence. You have to have the mentality that you're always going to add value. You're always going to grow and evolve. You're going to have a way to differentiate yourself. You're going to build the brand. When you do that, you don't have to worry about it. You don't have to worry about competition at all. So if you're looking for the short term, then yeah, you're going to make some money for a little bit. But you got to understand also that Amazon is growing massively. Amazon's growing 20% a year. Amazon hasn't even touched yet a lot of the international market because it's primarily dominating the United States, then it's in Germany and the UK. Canada, Amazon's not that big yet in the rest of the world. So as Amazon grows, there's going to be more opportunity, more potential for everybody to make a lot of money from it. And here's the other key thing, is you don't want to just build an Amazon business, you want to build a physical products business. So you start by selling on Amazon because that's the easiest way, but then you want to get to selling on Shopify. Then you want to have your own store. Maybe you might want to sell in retail. Maybe you diversify your income streams with affiliate marketing, creating an information component to it as well. And you're not building a one-legged stool, but you're building a Parthenon. See, a lot of people, and I know I'm going on a rant here, but I really want to emphasize this. A lot of people, they focus on building a one-legged stool. The one-legged stool is just Amazon. And that's it. The problem with that is that that stool can fall over. You want to build a Parthenon that has multiple streams of income. So you're maybe selling physical products, you're doing affiliate marketing, you might be selling information products as well. Multiple streams of income, multiple products. So now you have a secure foundation and multiple streams of traffic. So not just Amazon search, not just Amazon sponsored ads, but also Facebook and Twitter and blogging and YouTube and Instagram and all the different channels, because now you have a secure business. You no longer have to worry about competition. So whoever asked that question, I'm hoping that I can, my passion here on this is going to help you open up your mindset and free yourself from that fear, because that fear is stopping you from taking advantage of incredible opportunities that can change your entire life. 5, 10 years from now, people are going to be saying the same thing, and yet there's going to be more and more people getting more and more results. People said the same things about fear and competition with Kindle and Amazon and Google and everything, a year ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago, and 10 years ago. and it's the people that have the right psychology. Those are the ones that are going to get ahead. The people that have the fears, they're going to get weeded out, because they don't have they're mentally weak, that they can't have that confidence to be able to succeed. So that's my opinion on that.
That's great. Yeah, awesome. I can't speak like that. It's got a gift.
And I get so fired up on this question, guys, because I see this is just a repetitive fear, and it's so obvious, the limiting belief. It's right there, and it consumes people, and people are so afraid. And that's why I believe that you got to work harder on yourself than anything else. You got to have a practice of self-development, because 80% of success is your psychology and mindset, and it holds people back. I see so many limitations that people put on themselves that are just BS. It's just a belief system, and it's not true. And as long as you believe it's real, then it'll be real for you. But the people that, like I said, that are successful are the ones that are resourceful. They're the ones that find the way. They're more committed to anyone else. They just commit themselves fully, and sure enough, they end up being successful.
And you know what? I just want to touch on a few things before I answer some questions here. But I can relate to you if you are scared to start an online business, because before I met Stefan with his online, empire that he's created, I never wanted to have an online business. I didn't even know what it was. And when I did meet him, I told him, remember, it's been months. We were dating for months, and I said, no, I don't want an online business. And he was kind of urging me to do it, because he loves to travel, I love to travel, and to have that mobility. So I didn't want to start it, but I tried a few things, and it just wasn't into it, and I just gave up, and I just didn't do them anymore. And then I finally found this Amazon course, and I found something that I actually like doing. So for some people, there's several different ways that you can have an online business. So maybe the first time you try something, it's not going to work for you, but maybe the second, the third, maybe even the fourth attempt at a different type of online business, maybe that's what you'll fall in love with. For me, I now love having this online business, and I'm so grateful for it. I really am grateful for it. And I'm glad that I actually took that leap and decided, okay, I'm gonna go for it. And a lot of people don't have their own Stefan at home, right? Without Stefan, I wouldn't have been...
You guys have me right here, though. You guys probably get more of me than my girlfriend here, because I spend so much... I spend more time, by the way, guys, creating content for you guys than spending with her.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of free stuff that I give you guys that you guys can access from home that I'm trying to help you guys as much as I can to shift them in
But his psychology is what I'm trying to get my point through, is that because... for me, I was kind of oh, I don't know, should I invest this $1,000 in this business? He's like, why? Why not? Why wouldn't you? He was always what's the fear? What's the doubt? How could you even doubt this? So he already had success with this online business, and I knew him personally, so I trusted him. And that's why I had kind of more of a push to do it. But you guys really need to just, if that's what you want, not everybody wants an online business, but if that's what you want.
That's why they're here, so you guys
don't stop yourself from doing it, because it's really going to give you freedom.
Yeah, and as she said, failure is part of the process. Everybody's got their own journey. There's so many ways of making money online. There's Amazon, there's publishing, there's blogging, and there's YouTube, and there's affiliate marketing, and there's creating your own products, and there's mobile apps. There's so many different ways, and sometimes you got to go through a different process. You got to invest in different courses and products, and invest the time to build something up, and it doesn't work out, and you learn from that, and those lessons really become your greatest assets, because the things that you've learned from your first product and second product has now allowed you to have success from your third product, right? And so everyone, everybody goes through a process, and as long as you guys, again, are committed and have that psychology, you'll find the way. And if you don't have it yet, it's okay. You guys you can develop it. Listen to what I'm sharing with you guys here. Follow on my YouTube channel. I've got hundreds of videos, and my podcast, and all the stuff that I do to help you guys. And having that confidence is the key thing. And I think I want to emphasize again, investing in a course, because the course gives you confidence. When we went through ASM, that gave us a lot of confidence.
Yeah, the course gave us confidence.
When you go to an event, right? Went to the event, we're meeting people, we're seeing the speakers that are real people, and we're like, wow, this is real. You're joining.
Gets you excited.
Yeah, you're meeting other people on Facebook and online. I did a mastermind event. We did a mastermind event here a few weeks ago. People flew in, and these are people that followed me online, and when they actually came to the event, it became more real for them because they actually saw a real person. They got to personally meet me. They got to, hang out here in my penthouse. And it gives you more confidence. It validates that it's real. And so going to events, coaches, courses, that's what makes it real. That's what gives you that confidence that you can do this as well because other people are doing it. You've got a role model that can guide you and help you go through that process.
Exactly. There are 2 questions that I wanted to answer.
Yep.
One person asked, hello, Stefan and Tatiana, is it possible to export and store my products in the USA and other countries while staying in India? If so, how? Absolutely yes. So you can have an Amazon business from anywhere in the world. Amazon has different marketplaces, so you can sell in the UK, you can sell in Canada, you can sell in Australia, whatever it is. But basically, if you want to sell on Amazon.com, which is the biggest marketplace, you can sell from anywhere in the world. And basically what you would do is you would get your manufacturer to send your products. I mean, you could inspect your products and you could have them sent to your house, and then you could send them from your house to the Amazon warehouses, or you could send them straight from your manufacturer to the Amazon warehouses. So Amazon, in the States, there are I don't know how many, but lots and lots of Amazon warehouses through every state.
Yeah.
And basically that's where you store your products, and you pay a small fee. You pay monthly $39.99 to have FBA.
That's for the seller's
That's
central,
for the
right?
Sell Central, and then you pay a per product fee to store your products in there and for Amazon to fulfill them and give customer service and all that. So basically you can be anywhere in the world and have your products sent to the Amazon warehouses, so that's not a problem. Second question was, what was it? I saw it there before. Oh yeah, how do you make your first sale? So basically what we learned from our program is that the first sale it takes a little bit of time. So the first thing that you want to do is you want to have an amazing listing. You want to make sure that you've had multiple eyes proofread it. You want to make sure that it draws in attention. You want to make sure that there's scarcity, so people are going to want to buy now. You want to have really, really high quality product images. You don't want to just take them with your iPhone and just try and Photoshop it yourself, because trust me, I tried to do that. I was like, oh, I'm going to save some money. I'm going to Photoshop it myself, and it didn't turn out well. You want to really invest in high quality images, and it doesn't have to cost a lot. You can get professionals on Fiverr for $5 to actually professionally Photoshop your images for you. So if you want to know ways of like saving money, you can come to me because I've tried all of them and I know them really well. You can also, so basically once you've done those things and you've gotten about 10 reviews, then what you can do is you can start turning on Amazon ads. So it's a pay-per-click system that Amazon provides for you. You can either do manual, automatic keywords, where Amazon will input the keywords for you, or you can do manual keywords, and Amazon will drive traffic from those ads to your listing for free. And from that, you'll probably get your first sale, and then it's a ripple effect to getting more and more sales.
Yeah, and also one thing that can give you a big boost is doing a bit of a giveaway at the beginning as well. So if you order, you don't need to start with 1,000 units or whatever. You can start with 100 units of a product if you choose, but be prepared to give away a little bit of product for a discount or inexpensively, just to accumulate some reviews and to boost your product a little bit. So I've done some videos on my YouTube channel where I share more videos and some strategies on this. But by maybe you decide I want to give away 10 units so that I can get 10 reviews for my product and get a bit of a boost, then that's going to help you rank your product a little bit better on Amazon. And then also building the brand. For those of you that are part of my affiliate marketing mastery course, you guys are learning how to build the YouTube and how to build the blog and SEO and Instagram. And by building that, you have a platform to launch your product to, right? If you've already built an email list, if you've already built a following online, and it takes some time to do that, but once you've built that, now you can easily launch a product and immediately make a lot of money from it. Like for Tatiana, she's now built an email list, and she's now built a customer base and subscribers on YouTube, etc., that her product sold out, and she had people lining up waiting for the next, when it become available again, and then when she got some new inventory in, it sold out again, right? Because she had the list. So you want to attract people to you just by using the different ways of marketing online.
And this kind of tails in and ties into this question. You kind of answered it. So Stephen asked, for starters, as a low budget alternative, do you recommend affiliate marketing or FBA? So the course that Stefan created is amazing. I was sitting through, we were in the Dominican, and like day and night we were like closed off in our own separate rooms, and he's like doing this course, and it's really, really high quality. So if you go through affiliate marketing, you're going to be building all the email lists and all this stuff and like these websites where you can start getting, subscribers, and you don't have to spend much money on affiliate marketing, correct?
Well, the great thing about affiliate marketing is you don't have to create a product, right? You don't have to come up with the idea and take the big risk associated with it. So if you wanted to, and a lot of people have done this as well, and this is what I've done personally, is I started by building my blog and YouTube and social media and attracting people to me in a specific niche. And then you can join Amazon's affiliate program called Amazon Associates, and you can promote a product on Amazon to your audience and see how it sells, see how it responds, see if people actually decide to buy it, and you'll earn a commission from that. Now you've proven that there's a market and demand, and now you can go and create your product and then launch it to your followers as your own, with your own unique branding, because now you've tested it out as an affiliate. So I love affiliate marketing to always do a test beforehand, because with affiliate marketing, I don't have to create the idea, I don't have to take the risk, I don't have to create the product, I don't have to spend the money on inventory, I don't have to do the customer support. There's a lot of things I don't have to do, and I can just have an affiliate link and promote it to my traffic and then test it. And then once it, sure enough makes sense for me to create my own product, I do that. So you could do it both ways, but either way, when it comes to affiliate marketing, you need to have affiliate marketing in your business as an income stream, because all successful businesses that I know of, they leverage affiliate marketing. They partner with other people, they promote complementary products, because you're not gonna create and sell every product that's out there. If you have people that are into fitness, you can maybe launch and sell your own supplements. But if they're into fitness, they're probably also going to want fitness equipment, fitness information, ebooks, other things that can help them to achieve the goal and the result that they're after. So they both work, extremely well together. Affiliate marketing and building the brand fits with your Amazon, it fits with your publishing business, it fits with everything that's out there, right? So you want to leverage all of them as much as possible. If you look at Tony Robbins, who someone I respect and look up to a lot, or Tim Ferriss maybe, these are all people that have a very diversified business. Tony Robbins has seminars, he has coaching, he has his own courses, information products, he has his own supplements and physical products and journals. He has he does affiliate marketing where he promotes other people's products. He does events where he brings in guest speakers and has them speak, and he earns a commission from that as well. So he's built a business that's the Parthenon. Right? It's not just a one-legged stool. It has multiple streams of income. So that's what you want to do.
That's a good question. How do you get people on your email list from a physical product? So basically, you need to be careful with this, because Amazon has a lot of guidelines and a lot of rules with your communication with the buyers. So basically, Amazon will not give you their email, but they will give you their address and their phone number. And you are restricted in your communication, so you can actually contact your customers. They can contact you through an Amazon email system, but you cannot direct them to your own website. You can't direct them to other, sales sites and things like that. So you have to be careful. But when I did read it, I noticed that it didn't mention anything about when you give them the physical product. So what I like to do is, on my physical products, I have a little tag. You can have an insert. You can have like a piggyback label on a supplement. And basically on there it says, if you want to get 20% off your product, go to da-da-da-da-da.com and claim your coupon code. And then from there, you would direct them to, what's that page called?
A lead page.
A lead page where you will have kind of an introduction about your product. Here, enter your email address to get your 20% off coupon code, and that way you've got their emails. They've accepted the fact that you're going to be sending them emails, and now they're on your email list, and they get another product from you. Another thing you can do with that to get Amazon reviews is you can also ask them to leave an honest review for you, and you could give them a coupon code too if they want.
Yep. And then also someone asked here about your YouTube channel, so I'll do a little plug for you. So if you guys want to follow her on YouTube, follow Lux Health, Luxx Health, and it's primarily if you're a woman and you actually want to benefit from her. And
for guys, so.
Yeah, so if you're a guy, you probably won't benefit that much, but for the women out there, if you guys want to follow her, go to Lux Health, subscribe to her YouTube channel, and if you actually are interested in her product, she's got an amazing product. A lot of celebrities, the Kardashians and all that, they use waist trainers, so it works, and she's got a great product for that.
Mm-hmm. So let's get some more good questions about Amazon. Stay on topic.
Yep. So any further questions, guys? Yep, that's right. Yep. And by the way, one thing I want to mention as well is, I mentioned the course, Marketplace Superheroes, and there's a great webinar that we did with Stephen Summers at projectlifemastery.com/MPS. And that's a great way to get started because people always ask me, how do I get started? I have coaching as well, but unfortunately for myself, my coaching has become unaffordable for most. And that's primarily because I'm so busy. I can't take on that many clients, and it's very hard for me to be able to help people with that. And so if you guys are looking for an alternative in terms of a coach, somebody that can help you, somebody that can help you build your business and help answer the questions that you might have, Tatiana is great for that. She's done some coaching with some people in the past, and people received amazing value from her. And if you guys are interested, just contact my support team at projectlifemastery.com. So just go to support@projectlifemastery.com and reach out to us, and I can put you in contact with Tatiana. And then also, she's also done work for other Amazon businesses. So, for example, someone hired her to basically set up the Amazon listing and do a lot of stuff for them. And actually, that person actually was from YouTube, and that person loved it, right? That person received a lot of value. So if you need help, I can't help. I wish I could help everyone personalized, but she's able to a little bit more, and she'll be a lot more affordable to be able to help someone like you to be able to get started and everything. And I learned from her. She is spending more time on Amazon than myself because I got so many other projects that I've got going on that she is spending a lot of time with Amazon, on the phone with them, going through courses and learning and doing really well.
Someone asked, how do you know when a product isn't working out? Well, basically, you need to be monitoring your sales. Amazon makes this really easy. They give you info charts. They give you, all the statistics and all that stuff. But basically, if your sales are dropping consecutively month after month after month, and you're doing everything possible, you're doing the, what is it called? The
Amazon ads?
No. Product, when you're sending out the
giveaways and stuff?
Whatever. If you're doing everything possible to make your listing work and it's not working for you, then that product, it's probably the product that's not a good choice. Yeah. So from there, you don't want to be wasting more time. Time is of the essence, right? The time is valuable. Yeah. So from there, maybe you can bring your inventory back from Amazon, send it to your house, sell it to people, sell it to your friends, get rid of the inventory so you don't lose money.
Or you could just drop the price on Amazon too.
Yeah,
right?
you could just drop the price and you just kind of break even. Even if you break even, that's fine. But then move on to another product. Don't kind of stall on it because that's what's going to waste your time, and a year can go by before you know it, and you've just wasted a whole year on a product that doesn't work.
And that's why it's very important at the beginning to do the research, to do the market research, have a good criteria, have a good course that can help you identify the right products that can help you succeed. Mm-hmm. But the main thing that you guys got to look for is a high demand. You got to make sure that the product that you're selling has high demand. It's a niche that people are actually looking for it. People are actually wanting to buy the product that you have. If you try to sell a product that nobody wants, and there's no proof or evidence in the market that people are interested in buying that from Amazon, then you're going to have an uphill battle. But if there's high demand, you got to really look at why is their product not working. Is it because it's just more competition? Is it because you're just not getting enough traffic to your listing? Is it because it's not converting? Maybe you're getting traffic to your Amazon listing, but the conversion rate is low. Maybe are you marketing the product? Like I see people like, hey Stefan, I've got a product that's up and it's not selling, and I'm like, great, are you marketing it? You can't just put up a product and like, oh, I did it. Why aren't they coming? Right? If I build it, they will come. That's not how it works. You got to market your product. You got to promote it. Mm-hmm. Right? So don't just give up easily with it. You got to understand that, putting up the product is half the battle. The other half is marketing and promoting your product and, getting it out there and, really hustling and grinding if you want that product to be successful. And any product that has high demand, if there's a demand for it, then you can be successful. And you got to really look at the results. You got to analyze and say, okay, why aren't people buying it? Is my product too expensive? Is it got not enough reviews? Is it the same, too similar to the other products on the market? How can I maybe make a better offer? You got to look at all those different things to determine why it's not selling, and you got to be able to correct that, because if you don't, and then you just go on to another product, then you're going to have the same process. And the same thing goes with any business. I see people, I want to start a publishing business, an Amazon business. They do it for, a month or 3 months. Oh, it didn't work. I want my money back and, whatever. And they go on to the next business and they repeat the same thing and they give up. It didn't work after a month. I didn't get rich after a month, right? And then they move on to the next one. And that's the wrong mentality as well, because any business you got to invest the time in and you got to invest the money in long term, right? You're building a business. This is not a get rich quick. You're building a long-term sustainable business that you got to commit to. You've been doing Amazon for 2 years, and myself as well. And, we're getting better and better as time goes on. And sure enough, 3 years from now, 5, 10, that's...
And it becomes easier.
Exactly. It becomes much easier because you learn to master it instead of dabble.
Yeah. And also, when we say that you want to make sure you figure out what's wrong with your product, you can actually, whenever you have a refund on Amazon, you can actually go and contact that person. Every time I have a refund, I contact the person saying, I'm so sorry that you are not happy with the product. I would like to make it right, and may it please know what was wrong. Is it the fit? Is it the material? Is it the quality? Tell me what it is so that I can improve it with my next batch.
Yeah.
So that's how you constantly improve your products and you give really good customer service.
Yeah, and when you get reviews, you can comment on the reviews, you can engage with people, you get incredible feedback. You can even call customers, right? You can actually call the customers on the phone and be like, hi, I was checking in. I want to make sure you received the product. Are you enjoying it? Are you benefiting from it? And actually engage with your customers. Right? So there's a lot that you can do in this business, which is pretty incredible, that can give you a huge advantage. And again, it's just understand this is a real business. This is not just a little gimmick or trick. This is a real legitimate business that you're going to build up, and you got to invest the time and really go for it.
And you really want to just go above and beyond. You can also email your subscribers on their, or not email, you can send them mail, for example, on their birthday. You can give them a free gift. You can do things like that, little things like that really make the difference in the success of your business, because it shows that you care about people. You're not just a money-making machine. It's not really, remember that when we want to be successful, we're not trying to just get money. We're trying to help solve a problem and help other people. That's the true way to success, because that's going to last long term.
Mm-hmm. You want your primary focus to be on adding value first. Adding value by creating incredible product, by caring about the customer, by trying to help them, and sure enough, you benefit as a result of that financially, right? If you focus on giving and creating a great product and making it better and engaging with the customer and really taking good care of them, that's going to build a relationship. That's going to build a trust. And, that's what's going to make you successful financially.
There's a lot of comments that are just kind of, they're not really about Amazon.
So someone asked, how much money should I have to start? It really depends, because you can find products on Alibaba literally for like pennies, right? I mean, I know somebody that started really inexpensively and they started selling water balloons on Amazon, and they were getting it for like 10 cents, right? And you don't need to have a lot of product. In fact, you could have one product and start selling on Amazon right now. There might be products right now you actually have on your house, or you can go to the store or whatever, like you just ship it to Amazon.
I should touch on that, the retail arbitrage.
Yeah, so we'll get into that in a sec, but you don't need to have a lot of inventory or a lot of product, and every product's going to be different. Some products might cost less than $1 to manufacture, some might cost $5 or $10, and obviously depending on your budget and your risk tolerance, so really you can get started. I recommend a couple $100 at least, because you're going to have to manufacture the product, you're going to have to ship the product, and you're going to also have to maybe get some packaging design as well, which can cost a little bit of money, a logo. So a couple $100 is pretty reasonable. But again, making sure that you have a course or something that can guide you as well, because that will help make sure that you're not losing money and wasting money that a lot of people end up wasting because they're making mistakes. And you want to make sure you mitigate the risk, and having the right training helps ensure that you're doing things the right way and you're not making those crucial mistakes.
Yes, for sure. And I would suggest that, selling a product on Amazon that is above $10 is preferable, because Amazon will take a fee. And when it's under $10, it's kind of like, it's not really worth it. There's too many fees involved. So I would suggest that when you are doing your product research, you're looking for a higher ticket item, higher than $10, because like my first item was under $10. So I know from experience that you're not going to make a huge profit from that. But I mean, if that's what you can afford in the moment, that's fine. And also, if you don't have any money right now to start your business, there are ways that you can start. So basically, there's another way to sell products on Amazon called retail arbitrage. So basically what that is people will go and they'll find products that are on sale from like Walmart or, you know, big box stores. They'll go to thrift stores and find products that are relatively new and that are also really, really cheap, obviously. Or they'll find them on sale online, which is online arbitrage. And what they'll do is they'll bring them to their house, they'll label them for Amazon, and they'll ship them out to Amazon and sell them on other people's listings. So you'll notice that, for example, like this iPhone case. If I can buy this at Walmart for like $5 and it's selling on Amazon for $15, what I can do is I can take it, bring it home, put a label on it, ship it to Amazon, and sell it for a higher price. So you can, you know, start with like $50, and then you can resell those things and make like $200, $300 from the $50, and from that money you can start investing it into the private label. The thing with retail arbitrage is it's not a long-term business, it's not a long-term solution, because you constantly have to hustle. You have to go out and look for the products, and who has time for that? I mean, it works for some people. There's great groups online that you can do this with, but for me, it wasn't something that I enjoyed to do.
Mm-hmm. You're not building a brand, right? And so it could be, it's basically like, kind of like having a job, so it can work short term and help provide, you know, some money on the side, which could be really good. But long term, you want to build a brand, and you want to build a way of making passive income that has the ability to leverage and really scale up. Someone here asked, after Amazon.com, what's the next marketplace that you should get into? The next biggest ones are Germany and the UK. Okay, Germany and the UK, those are the next biggest markets. But it also depends on, you know, where the demand is, right? There might be a different demand on a different marketplace for your product. You might have a list. You might have, you know, people that follow you on your blog or YouTube or whatever it is. And there might be a demand. They might be asking you, hey, you know, I live in Canada and there's a lot of people there. And so it might make sense to launch in Canada or Australia or India or whatever it is, right? So you got to do the research on that, but the next biggest markets are Germany and the UK. We were actually going to branch off into Europe because with the European Union, there's a lot of benefits, and there's a way of doing it actually inside the marketplace superheroes course that I mentioned. But with the whole Brexit thing that's happening right now with the UK and the European Union, there's a little bit of uncertainty, so we're actually holding off a little bit on that right now. And for those that are joining, because I saw some people ask, this is my beautiful girlfriend Tatiana, and she's a successful Amazon seller. We're just answering questions about selling on Amazon and building your Amazon business. We already mentioned her YouTube channel, LuxxCurves. You guys can learn, and if you're a woman, I highly recommend following her and benefiting from what she has. Yeah, you guys can learn more that way. And of course, if you guys need help with questions for Tatiana or coaching, then you guys can contact my support team. Just go to support@projectlifemastery.com and send us an email. We can put you in contact with her, and you know, she does some coaching, can help people set up their Amazon product and help you guys out a little bit as well. Yeah, so if there's any, we'll answer a few more questions for you guys. And then we'll.
Anybody who has something that they really need to know,
yeah.
This is the time to ask. Take advantage of it. Don't just ask silly questions. Like, this is the time to ask what you need to know about this business.
Yeah.
Also, don't expect that, you know, an Amazon business is just like super easy. It's not. It's still a business. It's a business, and you're gonna have losses. I've lost thousands of dollars already by making the mistakes. So when you, like he's saying, doing a course will help you not make those mistakes. But I did some things that kind of messed up, and so I mean, expect to have bumps here and there. It's not just easy sailing.
Yeah, a lot of the biggest reasons why people fail, they have no idea what they're doing. Right? They're trying to learn. You know, I've got great YouTube videos that can help you, but you're gonna need a hell of a lot more than that. Like, I would not try to figure out a business by going off of YouTube videos and blog posts and reading the forums and the message boards and stuff like that, because you need the structured guidance to go from A to Z. You're going to get so lost, so overwhelmed, so confused. You're going to make so many mistakes from people that, you know, it's going to conflict with a lot of stuff. And so that's why you got to make sure you're following a certain method that is guiding you and will help prevent and avoid the pitfalls that a lot of people end up making in this business. Also, another reason why people fail, going back to what I said, is the psychology, the mindset. They view failure as failure when they don't understand that failure is actually an incredible asset. Failure, you can learn from that immensely, and everyone who's successful on the planet has failed. They just didn't view it as failure. You know, Richard Branson, multi-billionaire, he's built over 400 businesses. 100 of them have gone bankrupt, right? And yet he's massively successful because he learns from those failures and he has the psychology, the mindset of someone that is successful. So understanding that you got to get the training, you got to improve yourself, have the right mindset, learn, you got to mitigate your risk, you got to make the right decisions and not make poor decisions in your business, and get the help that you need. And that's what I've done, that's what she's done, and that's what everyone that I know of that's done that is successful.
Somebody also asked, what's your profit on 15,000? Well, you know what? It doesn't matter what my profit is because everybody's is different. It depends on what your product is, and you want to make sure that when you're sourcing a product, you want to have, like, most people have around 20 to 40% profit margins, ROI. So it depends per product. I have a very high profit margin because I selected my product specifically with a higher profit margin. And you can also, you know, your prices can rate, you know, be higher as you become more popular, as your brand grows. You can start charging more for your products. So just make sure that you have, you know, above maybe a 20% ROI because you don't want to go lower than that. Obviously, the higher the better, but it depends for everybody. So every person you ask who has an Amazon business, their ROI is going to be completely different.
Yep, totally. All right, guys, we'll answer a few more questions before we wrap up. Someone asked about drop shipping. We already kind of talked a little bit about it. The downside of that is you're not building the brand, which is the ultimate thing that you want to build in your business. So focus on building the brand. We like FBA for that reason, and private labeling your own products. And you have much more of an advantage long term by doing it that way. You got to think long term in terms of building your business. What if I live outside the US and Canada? We've already answered that as well. Doesn't matter, you can live anywhere in the world and you can sell on Amazon.com. You could live in India and sell in the UK. You can live in Australia and sell in the United States. You can live in South Africa and sell in Germany if you want, right? It doesn't matter where you live. All right, so let's wrap it up. So just to kind of reference a few things we mentioned, just to summarize and finish things up, guys. If you guys want to learn more about building an Amazon business and you're interested in a specific course, then Marketplace Superheroes is the one that we recommend today. And you guys can learn more about that by going to projectlifemastery.com/MPS. Okay, projectlifemastery.com/MPS. Watch the webinar there. It's a good course that we recommend that we've both been through. And of course, if you guys want to, you know, engage with Tatiana and you're looking for maybe coaching or someone that can help you build your business on Amazon, then she's available for that. And just send an email to support@projectlifemastery.com. That's support@projectlifemastery.com. And any final thoughts that you want to share?
I mean, we can really answer questions for hours because there's so many details and knowledge that we can provide for you about the Amazon business, but there's a lot of stuff that you have to figure out for yourself too. So getting the course and really doing your own research proves that you're investing your time into it and that you're dedicated to it. It's easy to just listen to people and just do what they do, but figure out what works for you and figure out what's right and what's wrong. Online you can find so many different answers and so many different opinions, and it's up to you to really kind of find what's right and what works for you. But yeah, we've got lots of different things that we can touch on about Amazon, but we don't have all the time to do that today.
Yeah, and guys, ultimately it comes down to just having that belief, having that faith. You're gonna have many people in your life that might not believe in you. They might not believe in the business that you're starting. And every successful person that I know of has been through that as well. And so have that belief, have that faith. You guys are here because you're one of the few that actually are committed to wanting to build a business and wanting to change your life. There's going to be a lot of negative people out there, but those are the people that are going to dabble and settle in their life, and they're not going to change. They're not going to have the financial abundance and the financial freedom that you can one day have if you believe and you have that faith and you do the stuff that we're sharing with you guys. So it just comes down to having that belief, guys, having that faith, being positive, learning as much as you can is exactly what you guys are doing right now. I respect and admire you guys for being here, taking the time out of your day, your schedule to want to learn and want to benefit and want to improve the quality of your life. So just, you guys are in the right place, and, it's just committing yourself fully to it. And, Tatiana is just another example of somebody that, has been able to make it happen, right?
Yeah.
There's many examples out there like that.
And just I think the key point to take away from this is, like you said, don't dabble. And what I mean by that also is that don't ask these what if questions. My own family, for example, they will not get into this because they constantly say, well, what if this happens? What if that happens? How do I do this? How do that? Well, stop asking these questions and start taking action, because that's what's really going to help you. And all these questions, they can go on forever and ever and ever. And honestly, like, I'm proof of it. I'm, standing here telling you that I was not a person who knew anything about online. I didn't even have a computer, and I was able to start an Amazon business, and now it's providing for me, and I'm eventually going to be able to quit my job because of this Amazon business. So it does work. It's just up to you if you believe in it and if you're going to take action and actually do it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure, and we'll do more videos together if you guys enjoyed this. I definitely want, my girlfriend has incredible wisdom and heart, and, really cares and wants to help people as well. And so I'll definitely have her on again where she can share a little bit more with you guys and be able to help you guys out a little bit further. But thank you guys for joining, and we'll talk to you guys again soon. Take care.
Bye.